you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
All right, we are all set to get started with Creighton's pregame media availability. We are joined by Creighton student athletes Lauren Jensen and Emma Ronsick, as well as head coach Jim Flannery. We will open it up for questions in the room and then on Zoom. We'll get started with a opening statement from head coach.
Yeah, thrilled to be here. Really proud of our group. 25-5 is a testament to the work that they've put in and the connectedness that they have, and just the consistency has really been there all year. And so we know we have a big challenge tomorrow with UNLV. They a program that, you know, they're in their third straight NCAA tournament, so they know how to win, and only lost twice this year. So it's a great challenge for us. We've had a week to prepare. I think we'll be ready to go, and I know our players are excited. You know, when your name gets called on Selection Sunday, there are a few things better when you're doing what these guys do or what I do. So we'll be ready to go tomorrow.
We're going to open up for questions for the student athletes first.
You guys are the first student athletes to qualify for 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments at Creighton. I know the season's not over and you still have more to play for, but has that sunk in at all yet, that in this program's history that you're the first to do that?
Yeah, it's really cool. You know, it's an honor too. Like, this program is great. There's been so many great players and great teams that have come before us. And to be the first team that has done it 3 years in a row, it means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, kind of just what Lauren said. I think coming into Creighton, we knew that this class especially was going to be special, but then just learning from past players and then having really great underclassmen, yeah, it's just been awesome, and it's an awesome reward to be doing this 3 times.
Emma, specifically, have you talked to your sister a lot the last week since you got the reveal for UNLV?
Yeah, I've talked to her a few times on the phone, just, you know, catching up, seeing what UNLV is all about. But yeah, UNLV is going to be a really good game. They're going to be challenging us on all ends of the floor. So we're really excited to just get this game going.
Both of you, how much do you draw from your run 2 years ago, the early exit last year? How much do you think about these last 2 runs, and then what you can use that for going into this one?
Yeah, we've definitely had both sides of it. You know, 2 years ago we went to the Elite Eight, and then last year we had an early exit in the first round. And so drawing on that experience, you know, we've been here before, and leaning into that and leaning into each other is going to be important.
Yeah, I also think that's what makes basketball such a special sport, is that on any given day, any team can beat anyone, especially when it comes to the NCAA tournament, because every team has earned a spot here. So I think that's what makes what we did our sophomore year really special. But then also looking back at last year, it was a one and done situation for us. But I think we're still proud of what we did last year, and we're still looking to grow this year even more.
Looks like we may have a question on Zoom. We're going to go to Zoom. I believe you're muted, user on Zoom. I believe you're still muted, user on Zoom. All right, we're going to go back to the room and see if that person can get back on in a little bit. We're going to open it up for questions for the head coach as well.
Flan, how much have you been able to take in on what UNLV does? What do you know about them, looking at your common opponents? What have you learned over the last week?
Sure. Well, I mean, honestly, going in, I didn't know a lot. I had not seen them play earlier, you know, but they did play 2 common opponents, Seton Hall and Wyoming, who they played twice. So leaned into those films a little bit, but, you know, I knew about how good Desiree Young was. because I'd heard her name quite a bit, and Ashley Scoggin had played at Nebraska, so we were familiar with her and knew that she was here. But yeah, just they're a really balanced team. I mean, it starts obviously with Young in the post, but really impressed with their point guard, Jackson. She's a really good player in a lot of ways, and they shoot it well. They can score inside. I like their rotation. They seem to have continuity there, and they have a freshman who's really, you can tell, has kind of blossomed over the course of the year, Kimpson. And like I said, they're used to winning. So, yeah, the nice part about it is, you know, we got the news Sunday night, and we're not playing until Saturday. So that's plenty of time to prep. I mean, both ways. I mean, they're going to be prepared for us, and we're going to be prepared for them, whether they had any idea what we were like before. You know, when you do have that almost a full week, you feel a little bit better. I mean, coaches like to be prepared, and I think and players, I mean, especially this group. You know, I think we'll have in all the necessary things that we need to have in, but I also think, you know, in the tournament there are in-game adjustments that you have to have, because there is, even with all the prep that we've had this week, there's still a little less familiarity than you get in the league when you're playing, when you know the coaches, you know the teams as well as you do. So I feel like there has to be just enough, just a little bit more in-game stuff, because you're not necessarily quite as familiar.
No. Any more questions for Coach of the student athletes? Thank you all so much. Good luck tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.